I'm an OB/GYN doctor in Las Vegas since the early 90s, and I've been a Praxis user for over 10 years. At that time, we had the 2.19 version, and during that last 10 years, I've seen an evolution of Praxis. This evolution has been based on physician input. But during the entire evolutionary process that I've witnessed, the essence of Praxis has not changed. And this is my feeling of what the essence is. And I wrote this to Dr. Lowe, and that's why I'm speaking to you today. I told him, I said to him, your mind does not think in a template system. Before templates, before words, your mind has a concept. This concept is related to the diagnosis and then expressed in words. The heart of Praxis is a concept processor that links your mind to Praxis. Physicians are not all trained the same way, therefore they have different concepts of the same diagnosis. In Praxis, this concept continues to evolve as medicine changes. When you look at the human mind thinking, they don't think in words, they don't think in templates. If that were the case, cavemen would be born with a vocabulary, and we wouldn't word search for what's I'm trying to say. What's that? You go to the concept first, and then you look for the word. And in some ways, Praxis is the closest to the thinking process. Before 2001, I started in a template system. At first, it was easy, preloaded, but I found it was not unique to me. As I placed data into the system, it became cumbersome. I was unable to find templates. As a result of this, there was a speed reduction. As I put more data in, more speed was, I had more speed reduction. I found it inflexible. I then became very frustrated, and because I looked at all my charts, and they looked the same. It was me like making Jell-O, pouring Jell-O into mold and putting it out, and all patients looked like the exact same Jell-O molds. And I didn't go to medical school in my training. If I did that to my professor, all my history and physics looked the same. I'd never pass the course. We were trained in medical school that each patient is totally unique, and with a template system, I could not do that. I felt that it was just Jell-O molds. I don't want to insult anybody but that use templates, but this is my personal feelings. It's like you have a pig and you put lipstick on the pig and you pass it off as a fashion model. It will not work. You always know the essence of a template, any template system is a template, no matter how many bells and whistles they put on it. Well, I have a very close friend, his name's Alex. He's a rehabilitation doctor. He networked his whole office. He's a very exciting computer. Over 10 or 12 years ago, he was sitting on a plane with Dr. Lowe. And for 2 hours, Dr. Lowe told him about Praxis. He was taken back by Dr. Lowe's enthusiasm, and he went out and bought the Praxis. He uses it now in his private practice. Well, he called me up, telling me about Praxis, and he was enthusiastic. And Alex I've known for years, is not enthusiastic about anything, but he was enthusiastic about Praxis. So I bought Praxis. Well, just take a little detour. When I went to college, they landed on the moon. We never had calculators. Computers were a research project in a physics lab, and the Hewlett-Packard calculator when I was a senior was selling for like $500. So I was the least person to know anything about computers. I had two left hands that came to computers. So what happened was when I bought Praxis, they assigned me a trainer. Well, this trainer was excellent, and this is why Praxis has won the awards for training and support. She was a certified transcriptionist. She helped me put in my data that was totally unique to me. My current trainer, which I get trained on some occasion, she's a PhD. She's a stay-at-home mom. She got out of the business world, and she also trains. And all the trainers I spoke to were incredible people. Well, after a while working with a program, I hit the eureka moment. I realized that Praxis is not a template system. Prior to that, I thought Praxis was a stealth template system or hyper templates, but the Eureka moment showed me that, everything seems to fall together. It's not a template system. This is when Praxis became intuitive and effortless. I describe the Eureka moment to some people as like learning a musical instrument. It's a point at which you enjoy playing, and practice is no longer unpleasant. I went to a practice conference convention in Las Vegas, and we had the new users and the experienced users. I spoke to the experienced users, and they all related a point in their training where they go, which is the aha moment, or they said, I get it. And that was commonality amongst all the people using Praxis. What do I say is my advantage to Praxis? Well, it improves my patient care. I spend more time with my patient. I can generate a history and physical, completely unique, in less than 3 minutes. The only thing that slows me down is my printer cannot print as fast as I can generate paper. Just yesterday, I had a patient coming in for preoperative laparoscopic tubal ligation. So I went to Praxis. I put the patient in. With less than 1 minute, I had generated a history and physical, a consent form, hospital admission orders, hospital discharge orders, and patient directions in Spanish or, if I want, in English. And that packet was given to the patient. The hospital orders, I went to my hospital, took the blank order sheet, scanned it into my Praxis, and then populated my Praxis information on that hospital order sheet. Allergies, social security numbers, date of birth, and the unique orders I want. When you print it out, you think it's printed at the hospital rather than my Praxis. It improves documentation, supporting a higher level of care. We have a lot of managed care nightmares here. One insurance company, you have to bill at level 3. If you bill at level 4, that's a 99214, they'll downcode you. You have to send the hospital notes. You have to send your office notes in. So the majority of my colleagues will only bill at level 3s. Well, between the level 3 and level 4 is like $20 to $30. So what I do is I see the patient. I send in my notes justifying a level 4. Well, I've never been downcoded. Other of my colleagues have been downcoded because their documentation does not support a level 4. In the past, when I wrote things, we all examine patients more than the level, but we always psychologically downcode because we can't support the documentation. With Praxis, you can support any type of level you want as long as you do the exam. Something that's very interesting, at conferences, I take notes. I place these notes in Praxis, and then I discard my notes. The next day, I'm applying this new knowledge to patient care. For example, if I see something about medications that is concerning miscarriages, I can put that in the body of Praxis and have it put in brown text, that I'm the only one in the world that sees the brown text. And so I can read the dosages and figure out what I'm going to do based on this patient. Or I can actually take an article from JAMA or from the AMA or from OBGYN Journal and place it into the body, and I can read the article and take care of the patient, improves patient care. A Praxis also avoids the quagmire of a large database. In fact, as Dr. Lowe has said, the more virtual patients you have, the quicker Praxis works. I have in my practice, when I converted from 2.19 to 4, I look into conversion. I have, at that time, I had close to 4,000 to 6,000 virtual patients. And I can see somebody 10 years ago with an obscure diagnosis and still call it back and use that. With a template system, I'm saying, what's a template? What do I do with it? And I make virtual patients daily. And it's very quick. I do it on the fly. So if I have somebody coming in that doesn't fit into what I've seen, I make a new virtual patient. The last thing I want to talk about, I'm an OBGYN doctor, and we worry about malpractice. When I have a patient coming in smiling at me saying, oh, I'm pregnant, and I smile back and say, well, that's great, but I feel like in the movie Matrix, where they fire the bullet and you're trying to dodge getting hit. So the bullet's coming towards me, I dodge the bullet, it whizzes by my ear, but then I've got to wait 17 years for that bullet to drop, so I'm free of the case. Praxis has allowed me to improve my practice medico-legally. Now, I'm not an attorney, but if you're interested in what I'm going to say, you can go to the testimonial page. You can look up Dr. Curtis Harris. He's an endocrinologist. He's a lawyer. He's a master. He has a master's in computer sciences, and he's a full professor of medical law at the University of Oklahoma. And he uses Praxis, and he gives in a few paragraphs the essence of what I'm going to say. But what I want to say is that templates can be subpoenaed in court. If there is an error in your template, or your treatment plan does not match the template, this could be incriminating and embarrassing to you. A virtual patient cannot be subpoenaed. In summary, and I hope I didn't talk too long, but in summary, I consider Praxis my friend. It sounds corny, a part of my mind. In some ways, I consider Praxis like the HAL computer in 2001, but the good HAL without the defect. And I would never, never uninstall Praxis. It would be like killing part of my mind. So I greatly appreciate speaking to you today, but this is definitely from my heart.